Just off Old Tappan Road is one of the last parcels of open space in town. Situated next to the former Korean church at 244 Old Tappan Road is a valuable part of our ecosystem, our history, and has the unique distinction of being one of the last remaining freshwater wetlands in Old Tappan, with a natural vernal pool combined with a historic stone house and barn that sit alongside.
We've looked over this property, and this property is an amazing piece of property. It's important to the ecosystem. It's a watershed property. It's everything that should be preserved.
Many of our neighbors aren't aware of the value of these wetlands, the vernal pools, or even the trees.
Behind me is some of the most important wildlife and bird habitat anywhere, a wet woodland habitat. And to lose habitat like this would be devastating.
These wetlands bring invaluable benefit to the town in the form of increasing property values, preventing flooding, providing clean air and water, and the protection of the natural habitat of native birds and wildlife so important to our entire environment.
I just want this beautiful property to be preserved so that my family can enjoy it and future families can enjoy it.
The land is also a historic site. The Garrett Herring House, built in early 1750s before the Revolutionary War, sits on the property. With its historic barn, an antique store, lamplighter, the Dutch stone house remains a valiant reminder of American history. Over 270 years old, it was listed on the U.S. Federal National Registry in 1986. Now this ecologically important and historically significant property is in jeopardy. Unfortunately, this vital piece of land is not protected.
As I'm looking at this gorgeous property at 244 Old Tappan Road, and I'm hearing that the possibility of development is there, and an application is in front of the planning board and in front of the mayor and council, it's troubling to think that so much development has occurred over the past 6 years, and where we have an opportunity, because it's in our master plan, from the one I did back in 2006 to the one which was just done in 2016, to preserve this for open space.
The property was bought by a big developer in 2019 who is requesting major land variances which would change the land use of this site from residential to commercial in order to build a massive multi-unit assisted living facility.
And you're going to have issues of flooding. You're going to have issues of drainage. You pave this over and you have to spend, the town and the county and the state have to come in with money to tear up roads and put in additional sewage. This is not, and it overwhelms the sewer system then. This is something that it's nature's way of taking water that is coming down and putting it into the environment.
Construction will take a year or more and will make an already constructed area much worse. There's no space available for construction materials, the gravel, and the number of trucks that will be in and out all day, every day. This congestion will seriously affect access to our schools, making this busy stretch of Old Tappan Road more dangerous. Everyone who drives or walks Old Tappan Road will be affected during construction, with heavy machinery disrupting and clogging this highly trafficked location. In addition to the increased traffic, there will be increased burden on our police and our volunteer fire and ambulance corps, who are already overtaxed. How will Old Tappan absorb the impact of this development while maintaining our desirability?
Developers cannot find it so easy to come into this town. I understand that basically the town has to solve its COA obligations, and we've done that. The town has done that. But the perception now is that Old Tappan, this beautiful jewel in the Pascack Valley, is up for sale.
Of course, the environmental loss will be irreplaceable. Once it's gone, it's gone. The area will now be prone to flooding, pollution, and the loss of wildlife.
It's going to affect everything for generations to come.
But with your help, this land can be saved and preserved forever. Towns like Demarest, Tenafly, and Closter have saved their open spaces as nature preserves with grants and funding from the county, state, Bergen Swan, and other benefactors.
I would love to see the stone house repurposed as an educational center. Maybe we could have an Old Tappan Nature Center similar to what we have in Closter and Tenafly, and have more educational programs for kids around the environment and conservation efforts. And I think this is the perfect time to do it because we have the funds to purchase the property as long as the residents and the town is willing to support it.
Contact the Planning Board, the Mayor, and Council today and let your voices be heard loud and clear. Put a stop to the overdevelopment of Old Tappan.
We have a council that needs to know that the residents care, that you'll come out and you'll support saving Old Tappan, saving this natural preserve, saving this historic house for generations to come. This is not just about our future, this is about the town's future.
Come to the Planning Board meetings and tell them we need to preserve this land as a nature center, bird sanctuary, or park to be enjoyed for generations to come. Enough is enough.